Alright, welcome to the second to last part of this lesson. We're going to talk about step 4, gathering evidence, and then the last part is revising your claim and your homework, which is pretty similar and pretty small in terms of what you have to do, so we'll go ahead and combine those two in the last video. But for this video, you need to work with your partner to conduct 3 separate tests in the sim. You're already pretty experienced with that because you did a bunch of tests when you tried to figure out exactly which disease Elisa had. So now we're going to use the sim to determine what molecules we need to release energy. We're going to start the way we always do and read the directions. What molecules do cells need to release energy? Gather evidence to answer this question by running 3 tests in the sim. You'll be measuring the length of time a healthy body can jog under 3 conditions: without glucose, without amino acids, and without oxygen. For each test, you're going to launch the metabolism sim, start a healthy body, and set the activity level to jog. Once you've done that, you can start without the oxygen test and press stopping on the breathing. This essentially stops the person from breathing. Then you're going to press play and feed the body as directed from the data table to test exactly what's going to happen. This can take a little time to figure out exactly, so let's do the first one together. I'll go ahead and open up the sim, and while that's loading, let's check out the first part. For the first part, control test, with glucose, amino acids, and oxygen. So this is the control group. This is the group that doesn't change. It gives us a baseline to compare to. The baseline says that from 100 to 132 time units is the length of time that they'll jog if they have glucose, amino acids, and oxygen. When the breath is on, they're fed fish, and they're fed corn. And in both trials, they were the same. That's good. It means that our results were consistent. Test A is without glucose, so we're going to turn the breath on and feed them 1 fish to see what happens. We can do this because fish will provide amino acids and no starch, which means we won't get starch into glucose the way we would with corn. So let's go ahead and do test A so you know how to do test B and test C. I'm going to double check the directions to make sure I'm following it correctly. So launch the metabolism sim, select healthy body, and observe. I've already launched the sim. It's loaded up, so I'll click healthy body. I'm going to reload this level, and I'm going to observe it. And then I'm going to pause it here to make sure that I'm following the rest of the directions. The next direction says set the activity level to jog, and then in the first case, without glucose, I need to feed them 1 fish with the breathing on. So I'll go ahead and feed it a fish, and I'll set the activity level to jog, and I'll start it up, and let's see how long this person can jog. I'll go ahead and start it like this, and I'll watch as they go. We'll notice they're still jogging this entire time because the activity level hasn't been changed. They also haven't gotten their fish, however, so I better feed them their fish now. It's okay if you wait a little bit, just don't wait too long. They're jogging, they're still jogging, things are moving along fine, and there we have an energy shortage. So if you notice, that was about 77 time units. I wasn't keeping perfect track because I was talking to you at the same time, but we stopped jogging after 77 time units. So I'd go back to my lesson, I would go here, and I'd put in 77 time units. And I'm going to go ahead and try this again. So I'm going to reset it. I'm going to select observe. I will immediately pause it to make sure that everything else is set. So I'll set it to jog just like I did before. I'll play it, feed it a fish, and speed things up. And let's see if this person can run a little faster this time. This time I'm carefully watching the time units as I go because I don't want to make too many errors. Last time I made a slight mistake in that I wasn't paying perfect attention. But we should see it coming up pretty soon here. In about 20 more time units, we'll know exactly when they cut out. Let's get ready to pause it. And this person is still running quite nicely, actually. There we are. About 84 time units. So this time they ran a little further than before. 84. And you should do your own tests for these to see if your numbers are similar to mine to make sure you're following the directions correctly and to get a better range of what's going on. So this was the first test without glucose. The next test was without amino acids, which has the same rules, and test C without oxygen has some other rules of its own, which you'll be able to do on your own before moving on to revising claims and homework. So go ahead and finish those tests, put the data in, click the hand in button, and then go ahead and move on to revising claims and homework, and then we'll be ready to go for the day.